So BTC is pushing 64K on a Monday. Things are looking relatively bullish out there at the moment. We've got AI tokens looking okay, but the meme coins have started firing again. And is this because of this GameStop situation that is just happening? And today I'm also going to show you an indicator on Bitcoin that has worked the previous 6 times it has happened. So surely if it's worked 6 times in a row, this could be the next time, the 7th time, with some big targets coming up. So we've got a lot to talk about today, guys. Let's get right into this. Bringing some new fire here for you guys as well. Let's hit that thing. Let's go. So look at these meme coins on Banter Bubbles. They're absolutely flying. And we've just seen today an account that has been dormant for 2 years. The guy that was behind the GameStop situation basically came out of nowhere today and dropped some interesting things. And now these meme coins have been absolutely popping off again. And another warning for those of you that aren't trading meme coins like Ray in the back there, you better start looking at some of these memes because they're not going anywhere. They are going to be here to stay for the next bull run as well. So today there's a lot of focus on AI and there's a lot of focus on meme coins. So we're going to cover those. And then I've also got an update for you on Velodrome Finance, and we can look at Jito as well that I've spoken about a little bit over the last couple of days. Right, guys, let's look at Bitcoin and then we're going to see who's in the chats hanging out with us. But right now, Bitcoin has broken a nice little trend. So looking nice and bullish here for us. Nice little move that's happened over the last couple of hours. And what am I watching right now? I'm watching big levels here, 61,900 up to about 62K. That is my marker now that I'm keeping my eyes on. The last time we had a situation like that, they came down for the retest and then absolutely rinsed us down. So are they going to come back and be kind? Are they going to be gentle on this little retest? So we're going to find out when they do send this back. So watching 61.9 to 62K, that's going to be our big level. Let's just pull some fibs as well and just make sure we have some decent tie in here. And yeah, looking good so far. What we can see here, 62K on the button, bang, and then the 618, a little bit lower down, 61,300. These are your hot zones now. These are the areas that you're watching now, bullish pullbacks. This is what we want to see. If we get this pullback, if we want to stay bullish here, we need Bitcoin to bounce 62K or 61,300 at worst. Don't really want to see too much deeper than that. And then upside, I'm watching 63,400. You can see we've pinged this one once already. That is a big area that we got to pay attention to. And then the highs here, 64,500. So we're not getting too excited here. We're just playing tight levels for the time being. And we're going to watch these altcoins. We're going to pay attention to dominance while Bitcoin is hovering around. But what I do like is that we've got a little trend break now. So if we start getting a little dominance dump, which I'm going to talk to you guys about shortly, then we're going to see some more altcoins starting to move for us. So things are definitely looking pretty exciting there for us at the moment. And let's see who's in the chats here. Daniel Boshevsky says, like button is killed. Guys, remember, if you're enjoying the content and raise air pumps as well, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. We'll give him the cap. Okay, guys, who else is here? I see ccomfortK is asking what is GME. So I'm going to tell you guys shortly, and I'm going to tell you this little story here and what sort of ignited this little meme run here for us. Bruce is also in the chat. He says GM fam, so he's not talking about GME just yet, but this is the situation. This guy, okay, Roaring Kitty, he was the guy. For those of you that don't know, there's a business or a company called GameStop in the US, and people had written this off as an absolute shit stock that was going to zero. And he's a streamer here, and he spoke some really bullish things about it, and the community around him sort of rallied into this whole thing, and they started buying GameStop to the extent that this thing started ripping and pumping, and they actually started rinsing out all the major corporates that were shorting GameStop, and it became a massive story in 2021. And this guy disappeared. Basically, his last tweet was June 19th, 2021. Okay, and out of nowhere today, this guy posted a little picture of him sitting up, holding a little remote, okay, gaming, GameStop. And what happened as a result of that little move? Well, bang, this is GameStop on the New York Stock Exchange. Look at the size of this move now after that little post of his. So this thing absolutely took off here, 158%. And believe it or not, this thing was stopped 4 times. In fact, it was stopped actually 5 times today. They halted trading because of the volatility and the way this thing was moving. And there were some massive shorts getting rinsed out today on this GME situation. And, this ignited a meme run back then in 2021. And we've seen now these meme coins are responding really nicely. I see Zara says he is back. The roaring kitty, and now he's cooking. He's posting all sorts of videos now. He's obviously loving the attention that he's getting today. You can see he's posting all sorts of things now showing he's back. He's saying, I'm back in time, I'll do it myself, all these types of things. But you know what's going on now. The guys are absolutely going to start pumping some of these things. So is this a sign now? Is the roaring kitty a sign that maybe we need to look at some feline meme coins as well? So I've teed up Popcat for you guys as one of the ones that we're going to look at today, as well as some of the other memes, just in case we get some kind of moves. And then don't forget, this week, very important, I spoke about this yesterday, and other than Jerome Powell looking hot in his James Bond suit, we've got PPI inflation tomorrow. We got CPI Wednesday. So we got a hell of a week ahead of us. And some of the guys are actually getting quite bullish into the CPI. It looks like they're rigging the numbers more than ever. We saw some comments today about them removing coffee from their index that they use to calculate CPI, because coffee has been on a tear and is getting really pricey. So they've just removed it from the index. And there's guys speculating that they're really trying to doctor these figures and tentatively bullish leading into CPI this week. So let's watch and see. But there could be some things happening in the next couple of days. And then here was just a nice little tweet that I wanted to share with you guys. And just interesting point here from Intuitio, he calls himself. He says, this is the only chart you need. But basically, if you look at the picture here, you can read his tweet, obviously, at your leisure. But he's saying you really need to be the most bullish when you are actually feeling the most bearish. You need to show these bull vibes when you really don't want to be, when you're really uncomfortable, because the price, when it starts moving up, it's going to start swaying you and start convincing you that things are going up. And this is a great representation of the last cycle, where you had BTC moving, then we pushed into ETH, then we pushed into alts, and then these NFTs were absolutely flying, and everybody thought they were the best traders in history, and they were absolute geniuses. And then we went straight to zero. So just a reminder now, the time is always to be bullish when it feels the most uncomfortable, when you are terrified. That is always going to be your moment. You don't want to be the most bullish when things are already ripping and doing all these things. That is when you need to be taking profits as you start ticking along. So just a nice little reminder for you guys to wait. Now, you're not going to believe this. This is a chart from Mr. Crypto. And he's made it really simple for us. He's pulled up Bitcoin on the weekly, and he's basically shown us every time we've had a descending flag on the weekly charts using BTC, we've had pumpage. Okay, so the previous time we had it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row. When we had a descending bull flag here on the weekly chart on Bitcoin, things did rip. Okay, is this time different? Yes, potentially this time is different, but if it's not, I mean, we've got a it looks like 100% hit rate in play here at the moment. So this could be the start of something really big for us. And if you look at this chart on the weekly, and I'm going to show you this 2-day weekly shortly, but the 2-day chart shortly, but you can see we're at the lows of this flag, and this could be the ultimate buy opportunity here for Bitcoin and some of these altcoins if we're buying it at these lows. And I'm talking anything down to this 56K, 57K region. Now remember, the weekly is a massive time frame, so 56K isn't really a big move on the weekly chart. So the high leverage traders don't want to hear 56K, but the bottom of this flag is somewhere around this 55, 56K potentially, and this could be your next potential massive buy opportunity. If this is going to play out again, then you are getting teed up right now for one of these big moves. So pay attention. And here's Bitcoin 2-day chart. This is the daily that I've been talking to you guys about for the last week. And this inverse head and shoulders that we've been looking at is still in play here. It's looking good at the moment. We got our right shoulder now over the last couple of days. We got that 60K ping, and perhaps we got a little trend break happening here as well. Perhaps things are starting to look bullish on this time frame as well. So what would we look for here on the 2-day chart? Well, pretty simple play. You can see what's going on, and a little trend break. We're looking for a little push into a horizontal and then some kind of rejection. So maybe a little push, ping that 50-day MA, some kind of rejection there, and then perhaps a little ride higher up. And for me, that's going to take us to the 72K level. But now this is the daily chart that we're looking at. And remember, if you are trading leverage, you want to watch these tighter levels that I've been showing you on this 2-hour and the 4-hour chart. That's going to give you the information you need right now for those 10x and 20x trades. If you're trading spot and much lower leverage, well, this is nice little cruise for you. And you can see your big support to watch for Bitcoin, 60K all day long here. That's the right shoulder. That's what you're watching now. A little bit lower down, you're watching 56,600. So these are your big zones for Bitcoin. And as long as we get this trend break, the market's going to then turn pretty bullish. And we're going to see some big moves, I would expect, from a lot of these altcoins. So we're looking out for this move. And 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗢, what did 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗢 say there, Ray? I missed what he said there. Something about selling descending bull, ascending new wife. I love that, bro. I love that. Give him that. Okay, I'm running a poll as well in the chats. I just want to see what you guys are thinking at the moment. And what are you guys selling the hamster for if things turn super bullish? I've given you options here: AI, RWA, memes, and BRC20. Wow. This BRC20, Ray, is lagging 4% only. And we got 48% of the guys want to get stuck into AI. So look, you guys are definitely on the right track here. It's got to be the top 3 at the moment. AI, RWA, and memes, they're definitely the top 3. And the order that you guys are chasing at the moment looks pretty decent, looks pretty good to me. Okay, let's go. Let's look at our dominance situation. Let's see what's happening here. So we've had a nice strong dominance pump here on the 4-hour, and we don't mind it. When Bitcoin is pushing north, we don't mind. If dominance turning green, that's totally fine with us. And we know these altcoins will sometimes just float around their levels. Maybe some will start popping off, but a pumping Bitcoin and a pumping dominance, not normally the worst thing that you want to see. So that's nothing wrong with that at the moment. What we want to see now, because we've had Bitcoin break a trend, so that's a nice bullish indication for us. What we would love to see now is this dominance to start dropping on the next Bitcoin retest, or while Bitcoin just floats around in these current areas, we want to start seeing a little dominance rejection, and that's going to start unleashing the normies, the normal alts. And I'm talking AVAX, Phantom, Solana, those type of things. And, some of the ones that aren't popping off at the moment, I'm saying excluding the memes that you can see, are absolutely blowing it at the moment. So we're waiting patiently here for a dominance rejection, watching 55.24, big area where it is right now. And my next rejection area that you can watch, 55.4. That's 55.4%. So look out, if we pump into that area, that could be a nice zone where we could start getting some release on some of these altcoins. Cameron likes render over $100 in the bull run. I can't disagree with that. I must say, it's to me that's it's starting to look more and more plausible. Ripple Muncher says ADA girls are nice girls. Yes, so they kick the can down the road. Okay, they're not out of the equation. They just kick the can down the road. Apparently, she's feeling a little bit ill, so I told her make sure she invites her friends and bring ton of ADA alpha, because we've got a massive group here who need to have their minds changed. Okay, so maybe they bring the right alpha here on ADA, and maybe we get some entries. So be patient. They're either coming tomorrow or Wednesday. They're going to join me on the show, and we're gonna discuss it. We're gonna play their video as well, and we got to give them credit. They put a lot of effort into that. And it was a quality production. Let's see what else we got. That's how says GME is the next PEPE pump to 500. Abid says he always loves to watch banter. Well, we love to have you here. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure, Abid, that you are subscribed. We need you subscribed here on the channel. And Adam said, did I get the cold shoulder? Not quite. I suspect they're a little bit shy at the moment, but I'm sure they're going to come. I'm sure they're going to come onto the stage and hang out.
Comfortable. We'll get them comfortable.
Yeah, we'll get them. We'll get them. Okay, so this is my current trading situation on Prime XBT. I'm still in this Bitcoin long from yesterday or whenever it was, Saturday or whenever I started it. Still sitting in this thing, and I'm letting it cruise for the moment. We do have a TP zone incoming, so pay attention to this resistance area. You can see 63,400. That is incoming for me. Okay, so potential TP zone coming in shortly for BTC, but so far so good. And this one is ticking over. If you want to trade Prime XBT with me, you know what to do. Link in the description, 7% sign-up bonus. And you can also trade the S&P 500. You can trade gold, you can trade oil, silver, Forex, all these types of things on the same platform. You can see I'm still running I'm long 2 S&Ps here at the moment. We're just going to leave that, guy, see how it plays out. And jump on Prime XBT. Nice little platform that you can have a little bit of fun with. Okay, what are these altcoins doing? Well, this is total 3. So this is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH. Okay, so this is basically a collection of all the other altcoins. And the more you look at this, the more you can see they're really trying to hold these altcoins up now. They're really trying to keep a nice little balance. And as far as the alts are concerned, we can't get too bearish as long as we are holding these supports. So we keep watching. You can see what they're doing here. Every time we're dipping into these zones, they keep buying us up. And this 200-day MA is slowly creeping higher as well, starting to offer a little bit more support. So right now we do have good support on total 3. Even though we've lost the 50-day MA, we've got this 200-day MA holding us up. So if you're sitting in alts, again, nothing to really get too stressed about until we maybe start losing that 200-day MA. But right now, so far so good. We've got 618 support, we've got 382 support, and we do have some weekly levels there. So nothing to stress about just yet on some of these altcoins. And remember, if Bitcoin starts pumping here, then all bets are off and we start cooking. But we do have a straggler. I'm the ETH bro, don't forget. But Ben Cowan just said ETH has had a weekly close below its bull market support band. Now, this is not good news for ETH. Okay, this is actually not a good vibe, and it's actually his prediction is starting to play out slightly. So I've pulled up the ETH BTC chart, and this is ETH BTC on the monthly, and we can see they're showing so much weakness at the moment on ETH BTC. And the last time we had these monthly stocks at these levels, look at this. The last time this monthly stock on ETH hit these levels, we had a long period of downside on ETH BTC. And is this now going to start playing out for us again as the interest in ETH waned, or are we suddenly going to get some kind of spark leading into this ETH ETF in August? So for me, my strategy still remains the same. I'm watching this 618. I'm watching this trend. Okay, I have called this one before. I have said this is an area for me where we potentially get the bottom of ETH BTC, where that pump starts. Could that play out in the next couple of weeks? Yes, it could happen in the next week or two. So I'm still watching the 618 and trend region 0.044. That's a big zone that I'm paying attention to. Let's see. Maybe that is going to be the bottom of the move, and maybe then the bounce starts leading into August. Maybe we're going to get some action there on ETH. Bear Cowan, says Dynaway. Look, he should also be called Correct Cowan because he's often very correct. So give the man a little bit of credit. And one of the things he did say that sort of stuck with me, he made a statement not too long ago. He said the day that the Fed decides to pivot is the day that he expects the alts to bottom against BTC. So we're going to watch out for when the Fed pivots. That might only be the bottom of a lot of these alts with BTC. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to go 500 times lower. What they could do is they could be pumping up with BTC, but we could see a lot of BTC strength over the next time being. So it doesn't mean that these alts are now going to dip another 40-50% lower necessarily. But just something to pay attention to, something to be, just be watchful of. When the Fed pivots, he's calling that the potential bottom. Okay, ETH USD, again, nothing to be too stressed about, looking very much like this total 3 chart, funnily enough. Here's our 200-day MA holding up the fort, holding up ETH and all the ETH maxis. So massive support for me still. We can't get too bearish here under 2.8. So let's look for 2.8 to hold anywhere around here. We can stay bullish. Let's watch how ETH plays out over the next while. And you can see this 200-day MA is sitting at 2,700. So we know this is a big zone for us in altcoins. We know Bitcoin loves it as well. Let's watch 2,700 now on ETH and 2,800. These are my big levels that we are watching. Bogdan says the biggest bull market is coming. I suspect it's going to be a big one. I don't know if it's going to be anything like that the pumps we saw in 2021. I mean, that was quite brutal what was going on back then. But yeah, look, I'm expecting something good. I'm expecting something strong. Okay, I promised you AI and meme tokens. And today is the first day of multiple AI announcements and events and things like that. And OpenAI, they're actually currently hosting a live stream, okay? And they're demoing some of their things. Is that going to filter into some of these AI tokens? And Crypto God John, he says a lot of on-chain AI alts consolidating after ripping 5 to 10x's. Okay, good point. Once volume comes back, he's expecting them to make the next leg higher. Okay, what are his catalysts? Well, he's saying ChatGPT 5. Okay, he's saying NVIDIA earnings, that's coming up 8 or 9 days away on the 22nd of May. So that's 9 days away. So Apple AI got an announcement. Presidential election, obviously, that could be very bullish if Trump comes into play. Sam Altman, $7 trillion raise for GPU chips, and Microsoft $100 billion spend on AI. So there's a lot of catalysts at play here, and that is why AI needs to be in your top 3 narratives for this current bull run. And I think memes, obviously, in the next or in your top 3 as well. So for me, the play here for me still is Render, and we can see Render's shown the most strength out of all the AI tokens. It seems to be the strength play at the moment, and at some point I would expect some of these other AI tokens to start playing catch up. But right now, it's all about Render. The strength is all in Render, and we're going to continue to chart Render, and we can continue to trade Render until that changes. So right now, I'm just tracking it as we go, higher, 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 and I'm watching key levels here and key areas of support. And if you are sitting in Render, no reason to start exiting this thing as long as it's holding key levels. So you can see today we had a nice little test. We had a nice little bleed out from the Asians, basically up to about 10.2. And that is now your support marker that you want to watch today. So if you're sitting in Render, no need to exit, no need to do anything. At the moment, this is your big area that you're watching, 10.2, and then a little bit lower down, we've got our 382 fib coming into play here, and that's also a nice juicy little zone there, 9.77. Okay, so 10.2, 9.77, both big zones here that you can watch on Render, and we should be holding. So I'm currently trading Render at the moment here on Bybit, and this is my current situation. So I've got Doge going on there, I've got IMX. There's Myro, the dogs pumping the meme coin. And I've still got Ondo, RWA, and then Render there at the bottom. So that thing is still cruising. No need to close that one yet until we start losing some really big levels. So I'm watching that currently, looking for bigger moves into these NVIDIA earnings. Let's see how it's going to play out. And while I'm talking about Bybit, guys, don't forget, okay, the clock is ticking here on Gummy. There's a $2.2 million USD Gummy airdrop coming to Bybit in 17 days. Okay, how do you take advantage of it? What you do is you go to the link in the description. Okay, here it is at the top of the list. Go to the link at the top of the list here and you sign up to Bybit. It says get $100. Okay, it's an exclusive Banter Fam bonus. All you need to do is deposit 100 and trade 500, and you're going to get 100, and then you are going to participate in that Gummy airdrop. And right now, there's 15 million gummies coming to all the signups on these links that you are seeing in these show descriptions. So pay attention to this. Right now, it's about $2 million in value that is going to get shared around between everybody who has signed up there. So pay close attention there. Don't miss this airdrop on Gummy. You guys know this thing is going to be big. Right. Okay. Next one is Fetch, another AI play. And sitting in my zone still. So for those of you that want to have a go, Fetch is currently sitting on a very interesting level. And why is this an interesting level to me? Well, number one, it's got a trend in play. We've got horizontals in play, and we've got a 618 fib in play. Now, there's 3 reasons why this is an interesting level. And you can see what they did here. They bled us out yesterday, and they pumped it back off trend and quickly reclaimed the 618. So I'm still looking for something along these lines on Fetch. And I'm currently still in my Fetch long on weeks. Okay, so this is what I'm sitting in at the moment. I'm going to show you shortly. And if we start losing this rising trend, well, then my next banger entry zone for Fetch, okay, and I would expect this to be a great entry zone because of the information we have in front of us, all these AI things that are coming out, and as well as NVIDIA earnings and the current AI narrative, I would expect any move from Fetch into 1.87, 1.88 is another opportunity here to get into position for potential long. So look out for this current zone. It's tradable here on this level. On this 618, you can see why this is an interesting area. So if you're interested in Fetch, you can look for longs here in this zone. And where can you exit? Well, number one, you want to exit if we close underneath today's low. So I'm just going to highlight right. Candle there, candle. Watch this 2.02 level on Fetch. okay, that is your support. So if we start bleeding into this region and we hold this area, then this trade is obviously still good. If we start closing underneath, then you can expect to look a little bit lower down in that region. Ray, did I cut out a little bit there, Ray? Am I still alive? Okay. Okay. Right. So there's a fetch play for you guys, and here's my current fetch trade that I'm in at the moment. And you can see I'm still sitting in cash as well. And this is that same fetch trade from the other day when they had that pullback. They actually cut half of that position. So now I'm just sitting in it at the moment, 8,600, and cash I'm at $9,900 at the moment. So that is my current week situation. And don't forget weeks as well. They also got a limited offer. They've extended it for you guys. So they gave me a limited 20% sign-up deposit for weeks users. But now they've given me a nice extension for you guys. We've got 18 more days. Okay, you can click on the link below. And in the description and sign up to weeks. Okay, KYC friend.
Oh, we got a lag going on. Lag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so next AI token for us is PAAL that I'm watching. So PAAL, this is PAAL on the 8 hour, and another banger here that is slowly and very quietly just drifting into an interesting little zone for us that we can consider. So this level here, 0.385. Okay, this is an area of interest to me, and you can see why this one is interesting. It's the 618, and it's some horizontal at play here. So if you are looking for something a slightly smaller cap here, and AI play, you can watch this area closely. We could get some kind of bounce here, and there's another play available for you guys. If you don't want to buy on support, you can also just buy a trend break. So what you can do is bang out a trend. This is currently the PAAL 8 hour chart. So what you can do is bang out a trend. Okay, and if you're unsure how you want to play something and you don't want to pick the bottom, for example, and you think this thing might push a little bit lower, what you can do is track this guy, and once it pops the trend, then you can start looking for buys, and then you can bang in your stop underneath the previous candle low. So for example, this is the 8 hour chart that we are watching at the moment. So if this thing takes off for now and starts breaking trend, well, then what you can do is bang your stop under these previous lows over here. So I'll highlight that for you quickly, and that is 0.385. Okay, so that would be stop zone number one if it starts blowing this trend. And then you're going to look for that thing to pump higher. If it does drift lower, you're going to let it play out. Look at this 200-day moving average coming in for you here at the bottom of this wedge, and that could be the bottom of a nice little move and a nice big push up there for PAAL. So basically, if you are bullish AI for the next couple of weeks, I would say opportunity will be coming here. Any pullbacks for you guys, look for entries on good zones, and things might really start pumping when Nvidia plays good games. And 𝗕𝗙𝗢𝗢 says, make the internet great again. Guys, I don't know, we got to sort this internet out. We've got to. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Rodolfo, our researcher, and he's also operating in Sniper Club as well for you guys. So catch Rodolfo on Twitter, Rodolfo Pozo A. Okay, he says, if you're bullish on AI, okay, I really hope you're covering these two projects. Now, he likes to dabble in smaller cap projects. These are the ones where you get the 10x, 20x, 30x moves, that type of thing. When you're playing things like Render, maybe there's a 4x or a 5x, that type of thing. But sometimes you can make some multiple X's if you're playing around with these smaller caps. And he's given some of his recommendations. So follow him on Twitter. He's very knowledgeable, obviously, with a lot of his stuff. And he's talking about something called DEAI, a $43 million market cap. And he's talking about OLAS, whatever the hell that is. OLAS is the ticker, $118 million market cap. Okay, he says its main objection is to support the creation of autonomous services. Sounds very AI and very fundamentally interesting. So follow Rodolfo and take a look at these projects. Obviously, do your own research, but you want to be following power researchers like this. You want to track these type of guys. You want to be buying the tokens that these guys are watching, and these are the ones that they are researching, and they are doing a lot of the homework for you guys. Okay, let's hit some memes. So we've seen these memes pop now with the GME news, all these things. And just a nice tweet from Emperor Osmo. He says, memes outperformers over the last 2 weeks. PEPE, 17%. Floki, 11%. Boom. Book of Memes, 9%. Doge, 8%. Okay, you get the picture. These memes are outperforming. They're not going anywhere, Raymond. They're not going anywhere, bro. Ray doesn't like meme coins, but he likes AI tokens.
During the bear market, we'll talk about it then.
Okay, I've got my first banger for you guys. Well, it's starting to really starting to take off now. This is PEPE, and it's now broken a great horizontal level. So if you are trading PEPE, or if you are interested in PEPE, you can see what's going on here. We've popped a really nice little horizontal level. So what I want to say here is, if we do get a pullback, we are looking for some kind of retest on this horizontal support. So we can mark this now as our potential support that you want to pay attention to. So PEPE, look, anything down to multiple zeros, 900. Okay, multiple zeros, 9 is a nice little support marker that you want to watch for PEPE. And you can see it's nice and clean here. We've broken a horizontal. So all we want to see now, if there's a retest, we just want to see this horizontal hold. That could give you your next trade or your next push to these highs here at 0.000108. Okay, so there is a target here in play for PEPE. And remember, once it blows this, I'm going to show you the daily. Once it blows this, we start moving into price discovery. And price discovery, you know, often things get a little parabolic when these type of things happen. What do? You can pull a fib from the previous high to the low, and you want to pull out your 1618 fib. And you want to get a type of idea as to where PEPE could potentially move to. And right now, if this bullish momentum continues now, and all this hype carries on, there's another 50% teed up here for PEPE. So step number one, we want to just make sure we hold this multiple zeros 9 level. Make sure we hold that as support. And then we've got the all-time high to deal with at 108. But once we smash that, then it should be clear skies price discovery into the 1618, and that's at multiple zeros 15. So yeah, if you are building a spot bag of PEPE, or you are trading this thing, watch these key levels, buy on any weakness onto good supports. We know AI is pumping, memes are pumping. There's a vibe in these tokens at the moment, and we can't ignore them. I see Ben Steele says PEPE looking juicy. Guys, it is looking very juicy, to be fair. Let's see what else we got here. Yes, I see you guys are talking about Hemul again and Lemao, or maybe with this guy. What was his name again? What was this man's name? Roaring Kitty. Maybe he's going to bring some action to some of these other cat tokens. So let's cover Doge quickly, and you know, old school dust coin meme traders. I mean, this is probably the OG Doge. So let's pay it its respects. And right now on the weekly, Doge looking solid, Doge looking strong. So no comment here for Doge other than major support 0.134 on the weekly. Doge is looking solid. And here's a little trade we gave on Sniper Club earlier today. And we just played a little breakout trade. We sent out a signal on Sniper Club, and very clean little situation, and very simple play. So how did we go about this, or why did we give the signal? And well, the play was pretty simple. We had a trend break. And for me, once you get that trend break, you're often looking for that bullish retest. So as you can see, what made sense to me was, at the time, we had this trend break, we pushed higher. Let me just show you, let me get my pen out here. So we pumped up, we pushed higher, and then we were looking for this bullish retest onto the 382, and that triggered the move. So that triggered the next big push for us for Doge, and now we bang into TP1. So if you are trading Doge, okay, let's say you didn't even get the signal, you were elsewhere, and you are currently long Doge, understand you are at our TP zone. Okay, so number one, this is an area where we're telling Sniper Club guys, take something off the table, raise your stops, de-risk a little bit. If you are going long Doge now, you are going long into a resistance area. Okay, again, it doesn't mean that it cannot go more. You can see this thing's looking hungry, and we potentially have some bigger areas coming here for us for Doge. But what you need to pay attention to, number one, if you are buying Doge here, you are buying into resistance. Your next game plan, you've got to make sure it pops this area here. This is the 1 hour chart, and you want to find support on the same region where we found support previously, and that's going to be 0.1538. Okay, so if you get support somewhere in that region, then phase 2 of this trade can be taking place. So Sniper Club traders, you are at TP here. This is where you raise your stops, you de-risk a little bit. You don't want to do a round trip. Let's not do a round trip. And for those of you that don't know what a round trip is, it's basically watch it go up, get too greedy, and watch it come back down. and then feel sorry for yourself and tell a good story to your friends about how you were up and then you were down. Okay, round trips, we don't want to do too many of those. So take advantage of your profits when you can. And next target for Doge, we're looking at 0.167, and that's clean. It's the 50-day MA, it's horizontals. And if you are still long or trying to be long after it hits that area, you just be careful. Okay, TP, yeah. TP up there as well, and just play it safe. So support levels for Doge. What can you watch now on the 1 hour? Let's just dial in here. Your big level, okay, is going to be the horizontal that we broke earlier today. So this is Doge on the 1 hour. Let's make sure we can just grab any retest onto this horizontal. So I'm going to highlight it for you now. Okay, any pullbacks, Doge traders, 0.145. Okay, so if this thing rejects now and starts drifting lower, that's where you're looking for a potential bounce on Doge. And you can see this was big resistance before on the 1 hour. So we would like to think now we've blown this resistance. If we come back to test, we can buy this with confidence as support on any retest. So 0.145, that's a nice big zone for you there. And again, if this thing pops higher, just make sure you start getting some kind of support in this region before you start aping into this situation. And the 50-day MA, eyes on that 50-day MA, that is your target. Let's see. Crypto Nate says, most of my trades at the moment have round trip. It's a very difficult thing, guys. This Bitcoin trade I'm in, I've been keeping it open to show you guys on the show. And I was looking at it today thinking, sheesh, this thing is potentially going to come and round trip me again, because this would be my second visit to this area here. So fortunately, it's up here now. If it pushes into that resistance zone I told you guys about earlier, I'm clipping the profits here, and we'll put that into the handbag fund or something along those lines. But remember, just take your profits at resistance zones, de-risk, raise stops, and things like that. You don't want a trade that's making you money at one point to end up costing you money. That really hurts your feelings, I can tell you. It's not a great vibe. Okay, here's Myro, and nice little pumper. I've been talking about this one this week, and this has been looking really good. So holding the 618 pretty nicely at the moment. So let's just dial in here. Myro, you can see what's going on. Multiple round trips for Myro traders, myself included. I caught that one, I caught that one, I caught that one, but it was all the same trade. So we went up, down, up, down, up, down. And now you can see I'm still sitting in Myro, and I'm looking for that 50-day MA for my TP. So here's my Myro at the moment. You can see where we are there. We're $2,000 up. I'm trying to get it to my TP zone, which is this 50-day moving average. You can see this thing is coming down slowly for us that we're going to pay attention to. So coming there soon. And what do I like about this TP zone? Why is this interesting to me? Well, number one, you can see it was major support previously. So what does that tell us? It tells us look out, okay, for a rejection in that area. And it could be very interesting to see something along these lines over the next week or so play out. And that's a really nice, juicy, bullish setup there for Myro potentially coming into play. So step one, if you are trading Myro, look out. 50-day MA, watch that area closely now. That is going to be your resistance area. When can you get excited again? Well, number one, you're looking for that move back to trend, like I showed you there earlier, looking for something like that, or you want to see a clean break of this area, retest this 50-day MA, and then this thing is away. This thing is going to be cooking. You can see your targets. You can see where this thing can go pretty quickly here. 27 is going to come into play, I would say, for Myro. So number one, let's just blow that 50-day MA first. Let's get clean and clear of that thing, and then this thing can start pushing for us. Adam says, still had hair when you did the first Myro trade. 100% right, bro. 100% right. Okay, next one is Popcat. Okay, so, Popcat, we've spoken about this one on the show many times as well. And what I want to say here is Popcat on the 4 hour, you need to just give it a little bit of time. Okay, so there is time for Popcat traders. If you are confident that memes are going to turn bullish now and things are going to start flying, well, you can mark your first support zone, and that has got to be 0.37. Okay, so that is your big support zone that you're going to watch for Popcat. So if you're buying this thing spot, ideally, if you're playing meme coins, you want to play spot or incredibly low leverage, 0.37 is your main area that you're watching. So why do I like that area? Well, often we get these double bottom scenarios. So if we reject, we'd be looking for a long back, another visit into that zone if we do get something along those lines. But if this thing is going to continue, quite a simple play now, and I'm going to just show you how to set it up. So this is the 4 hour. What you want to look out for is obviously where's your next big horizontal. Where's your next rejection area? And you can see I've got a nice little area over there. You can see they've tapped it once already. And what you really want to see now is this push through the trend. Okay, nice little clean break of that area, little retest here. We're going to pull up some fibs, and then you want to see that next play, probably into that region. Okay, so something along these lines. Let's just see where our support fibs are. I'm looking for the 382. I'm looking for the 618, and there it is. Okay, so if we do get a nice little push, what you want to do is mark your support levels on your chart. Okay, so 0.468. Keep your eyes on that level, 0.468. So if we get a nice clean push here, look for this retest onto this region here. That should give you your nice little bounce long, just like you saw with Doge earlier today. We had that push up, we had that 382 retest, and then that thing started firing off for us. So watch that one closely, 0.46 to 0.47, and then a little bit lower down, you're going to get your 618 coming into play at 0.43. So these are nice little areas, but Popcat traders, main support, 0.37. Okay, updates for you. I've got an update for you on Velodrome Finance. Now, I brought this to you guys last week, okay? And it's also another one of Rodolfo's favorite things. And I see some of the researchers as well are talking about it. And if you go onto Banter Bubbles, and if you didn't know about this, you can go to Banter Bubbles, click the newsroom, okay? And you can see the chit-chat going on there. We're all dropping tweets, we all dropping alpha in this area, and you can see the guys are talking, and here we go. So one of the guys is here talking about Velodrome Finance. Okay, so here's one of our researchers, and he was basically saying it's like having Curve, Convex, and Uniswap all in one place. So don't lose sight of this Velodrome Finance. When I spoke about this last week, I said this is one of the areas we're looking at for our second move. So we had the move down. I was looking for a double bottom play here, and then some kind of move higher. And there's a lot of murmurs going on now in the research calls, in the research rooms, and things like that on this Velodrome Finance. There are things happening there, and I think it's only a matter of time until this thing starts performing. So keep your eyes on this big level here for Velodrome, 0.12. Watch that area. Then I've got a nice little thick band for you, a little bit lower down, that you can pay attention to. Another great DCA zone. So if you get this move into this region lower down, another great area for you guys to add, 0.077. So a nice little area, and look at the size of this move. If we start pushing this thing back to the highs, we're looking at around about 234%. Okay, potential move coming here for this Velodrome Finance. So don't sleep on this thing. At some point, the pumpage is going to come back and start. So watch this guy, 0.12, a little bit lower down, 0.077. Okay, so these are your nice little juicy DCA zones and things that you can play around in. And then I've got an update for you guys on Jito. And this is my banger. You know, this is the restaking on Solana. I'm pretty bullish about this current situation. So Jito could be opportunities here for you, could be opportunities to grab more entries on Jito on some key levels. So I just wanted to remind you guys, we've had a nice move on it so far, and we've got a rejection now in play and moving into interesting zones. So zone number one for me, 3.82. Okay, area number one. That's a nice little area that you might want to be looking to DCA. And then another nice juicy zone for you guys, 3.4. Okay, another nice level here. You can add to your bags. And if this restaking narrative is going to start playing out on Solana, Jito is where it's going to be. And this thing is going to start. Ripping. So there could be potentially massive targets here for you guys. Okay, guys, we've run out of time. There was another banger on a Monday. You've got everything. You've got the levels. You've got the areas of interest. You know what you're watching. You're watching memes. You're watching AI this week. And don't forget, by tomorrow or Wednesday, I might have these ADA girls on the show for you guys. So you don't want to miss it. I'll tweet. I'll make sure you guys all know about it. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. Ray, later. See you guys later.